Hi, boys and girls. My name is Miss Laura. I'm the Director of Family Ministry and Christian Education at Grace United Methodist Church in Gaithersburg. Thank you for joining me today. I just have a quick message for you today, and then I'm going to put a video up that I want you to watch. I just finished quite a long meeting, and I thought, in fact, instead of listening to me and my lesson, I think you can watch something and you can kind of make up your own mind about what I tell you before I play this video. Well, I'm going to attach it afterwards. So look in the comments section, or I may have to post it as a separate video, but the picture and the video is going to be about Ruby the chicken. Now, if I told you that there was a chicken that was that big, say, this is my mug here. The chicken isn't much bigger than this mug at all. Okay. Now let's say that that chicken kept laying on eggs because she wanted to be a mummy. She kept laying on eggs. She didn't really have any friends. She looks different from the other chickens because she's so tiny and all of her feathers are curly. She's called a frizzle chicken. So she's got curly feathers. So she looked different to the other chickens. And she was smaller than the other chickens. But she was so desperate to become a mummy. And I felt really bad for her. I thought, I'm going to help her along a little bit. So when one of our ducks laid an egg, I took the egg and I put it underneath Ruby's tummy. Ruby is the little tiny chicken I was talking about. And because Ruby was so faithful that she wanted a child of her own to love, she sat on that egg for over a month. And she got really skinny and she lost a lot of feathers because she was so dedicated to having a child to love. So just the other day, I hear beep, 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 and I go in and I look underneath Ruby and I take out the duck egg, and there's a hole in the egg, and there's a little beak coming out of the egg that's going beep, 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 beep. So there was a duck beak. Now Ruby got upset because she didn't know what was happening, but I had to help the duck, which we called Pingu, hatch a little bit. So I took off some of the eggs because her egg had dried out, and I put her underneath Ruby. Now, do you think the duck looked like her mum, the first bird that she saw, the chicken that she saw? They look nothing alike. I'll see if I can pull up a picture while I'm talking to you. But they look nothing alike. The duck is yellow and fuzzy, and Ruby is orange and curly. Ruby is small. The duck is big. Already, the duck is big. Ruby says, cheep, 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 cheep. And the duck says, quack, 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 quack. But even though Ruby isn't the duck's biological, that's a very long word, and we can talk about that another time, especially when we're back in person. But the egg didn't come from Ruby, the egg came from a different animal. But Ruby loves that baby just like she would have loved a baby if it all came out of her own egg. And to watch that is just beautiful because with animals, it's so pure when they love each other and when they hug each other and snuggle up to each other and talk to each other and share food with each other. And that is what Ruby and her duckling, her baby, are doing. It doesn't matter if they've got different color skin, fur, if they're big, if they've got a little bit of extra weight on them, if they're a little bit maybe too skinny, which Ruby is right now. She needs to bulk up a little bit, which we plan on doing. But they love each other so much. And to me, that is my God sighting this week. Just to see that pure love. And I just think that's beautiful. And I want you boys and girls to know that sometimes you might not feel loved. I hope you all do. I really, really hope you feel loved all of the time. But if there are times that somebody's not treating you very nicely, just know that there are people out there that do love you. And that's unconditional. What does that mean? It doesn't matter what you've done. There are people that love you. Do you know who loves you the most? No matter what you've done, unconditionally, Jesus. Jesus loves you unconditionally. And when Jesus was on this earth, Jesus didn't walk into rich castles dripping with gold and jewels and, beautiful stone carvings all the time. He went down where it was dirty and there was rubbish and it was smelly. And some people didn't have very nice clothes to wear. That doesn't make them smelly, but where some of the places Jesus went to, just the streets weren't very nice. People would throw out their rubbish water onto the street and, you know, but that's where Jesus showed his love because it's unconditional. So people that were thinking that they were not good enough because they weren't living in the best part of town or wearing the best clothes, or perhaps, they had darker skin or different features than they thought that, oh, nobody would think that I'm worthy or beautiful or good enough to be loved. But you are. If you're beautiful, you are worthy of being loved and you are loved. And you know what? Even if you think you're not beautiful, you are. All right, let me show you a picture of Ruby and her baby, and then look out for the posted video. Do you see that? This is Ruby and Pingu, and they love each other very much. It's very adorable. And here they are looking out of the window because there were two chickens outside that were being naughty and they were fighting with each other outside my window. And so Ruby and Pingu decided to investigate. Look at that. They're looking out the window saying, who's making all that noise? But look at that pair. They don't look the same, but they love each other very, very much. Just like I love each and every one of you. All right, look out for the video. I love each and every one of you. Cheers and good night.